Good day, everybody. Welcome to the Ammunation. Sorry for the camera shake there. My cat just jumped on the table and the puppy wants to get at him. I am here tonight with my co-host, as always, the irreverent Irving Twin. How are you tonight, sir?
Living the dream. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's good getting together with you last night on the late night Friday gaming stream.
I forgot how powerful the 101 is. I got a little sloppy.
Yes. Yeah, you really enjoyed that wild turkey. Oh, hello.
So,
I've got a puppy here. Wants to say hello. Say hello, puppy. Oh, no, now she's gone. All right. So we're here tonight and back for another Ammunation, Ammunation 46. Tonight's episode is called the Censorship Industrial Complex. And don't worry, it's not gonna be too heady. I'm not gonna get all deep into the weeds like some more informed, more intelligent people might. It's just something that I saw the other day on Tucker Carlson's channel, his broadcast, and it made me think about things. We got a few comments in the chat. We've got CMAC beat you to the punch there, Mr. Twin. Called first comment. Good for her, and you excoriated her for that. Costin, CMAC is evil, but at least she is nice to look at. Irving Twin. Yes, CMAC is a lovely lady. Pox Tox is in the house. Sup, F slurs. Hey, Pox Toxic. How goes it, Costin? Hey, you didn't call us N words either. Um, speaking of derogatory terms, I want to apologize. Last night, I indulged in some cannabinoids before I started playing, and I believe I used the phrase um, "basketball Americans." And I understand that some people might find that offensive, and so I want to apologize for that. Uh, so if you were offended, I'm sorry you're a humorless cunt. Uh, Basketball Americans is a funny phrase. It's not. It's harmless in terms of its description of uh, the Nubian peoples, and uh, and I think it's the kind of soft racism that we can all get behind. So yeah, there we are. We'll be N words later, says Pox Toxic. Pox Toxic. He'll be calling us N words later. No, I'm not. I'm not going to use that. That's a little beyond the pale. Thanks for the chivalry, Costin. Aw. Yeah, if you're new to this channel, one of our regular viewers, WR Costin, has a huge crush on one of our other regular viewers, CMAC. F slurs, says CMAC. Um,
oh man, she's a Fed. Just
he's a Fed. You're not supposed to say that. That's going to get her in trouble. Apparently, she works for a quasi-legal organization right now, and apparently it's populated by uh, not necessarily criminals, but people close
you
to the
mean she
criminal
was
element.
you mean
So
she
if
was
you
planted in a quasi legal organization. All right, it's a cover.
Pussy. I apologize for the existence of Craig Bragg. You're not responsible for my existence. My mom and my dad are, and my mom's dead. So anyway, let's get right into it, shall we? First off, welcome to the ammunition. Should have had that up right at the beginning, but that's okay. Um, we always start with, do you even lift, bro? How's your fitness journey going these days?
Well, for a while, late last year, I was slacking, and then ran into the tragic time for my poor doggo.
Yeah,
Uh, but since then, I've been steady back, and I've recovered a lot of lost strength. It wasn't like huge amounts, but it did take quite a while to get it back. So I'm back to my over 40-year-old PRs for squat and deadlift,
nice.
and like they're not impressive numbers. I'm so not well. I mean, like squat, I can squat my body weight, which is
Well, that's
not
great.
an amount. Uh,
Because
but
I was telling you last night, I don't like doing you know the big long barbell squat.
mm,
First time I tried it at the gym, I lost my balance and I fell backwards, which is the way you're supposed to fall, but I still felt like an idiot. So I find that particular type of squat dangerous for me because I'm not very coordinated. So I typically do goblet squats with like a 30
Mhm.
pound dumbbell. And I know it's not a lot, but quite frankly, I don't like doing squats in the first place. I know you have to. I know they're important exercise to do, but if I'm going to do them, I'm going to do them one where I feel like I'm not in danger of falling over. So I do two sets of 15 squats with a 30-pound dumbbell, and by
Mhm.
the time I'm done the second set, my ass and legs are aching. So I know I'm working hard. So
Sure. No, but I think there is what's the word? There's some value in like the way you were saying you don't have the balance and the coordination. Practicing the squats with the barbell, even if you're just using an empty barbell to
yeah,
practice the movement, will increase that balance and
well, I'm
coordination.
sure it will, but I've never been particularly agile. I've always been kind of gangly and awkward.
And there's also the weird thing about squats that people will swear, oh, your feet shoulder width apart, pointed straight forward.
Nope. Pointed a little
I
bit out. Pointed a little
and
bit
my
out is how I do it.
it actually has to do not just with the length of your leg compared to your body. Like my legs are too long for my body. It's the shape of your pelvis and the way the ball actually fits in the joint
Hmm.
of your hip that I can't move my leg that way with weight, right? So I have to have my feet wider than shoulder width and pointed slightly outwards. Otherwise, my hip won't rotate,
Yeah.
right? So, yeah, just do do it where you're comfortable.
Hi, Mac. This is my cat, Mac. Say hi, Mac.
Just escaping the dogs up here.
Yeah, he's allowed on the dining room table because we don't really eat at the dining room table very often. It's more of a craft table. I do a lot of work here. Um, but I've gone back to every other day as opposed to 3 times a week,
Mhm.
like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I've switched now. I'm just going every other day. And today I did legs. I hate doing legs, but my tracker really like it counts how many calories you burn when you're doing
Yeah,
specific weight training exercises. I was surprised at how many calories you burn working out your legs. I mean, they're large muscle groups, I get it, but it's
yeah,
way more than doing shoulder exercises, way
oh
more
yeah.
than doing chest exercises.
It's
So
it's
yeah,
half your it's half your muscle mass,
it's
right?
half your muscle mass. That's exactly it.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
um,
Folks,
oh, my
go ahead.
deadlift,
Yeah.
a proper LMAO two plate,
Oh, nice.
so 225. Yeah,
Very good.
yeah,
Two plates on either side,
yeah.
and then well, that's 90, and then the bar is typically 45 pounds.
Yeah, so if you have a 45-pound bar, the point is the weight is the weight. So I did get it up to actually 225.
Oh, nice. Good for you.
Yeah, 'cause my bars are
Today I did a straight leg deadlift with an 80-pound barbell. So I
nice.
did uh, I did 3 sets of 15 of that, and man, that was a hell of a workout.
That's a
Uh,
lot of like. I like volume. I respond well to volume. For
yeah.
deadlift, I never do more than 3 sets, and I never do more than 8 reps.
Oh, really? Eh?
Warm up. Yeah, I just like it. It can be dangerous, especially like I'm trying to do that thing they call is it progressive overload, where I'm trying to go for more weight, for more weight, for more weight, right?
Right.
So for something as delicate as the fucking erector spinae muscles that run along
Yeah.
your spine, I don't do too many reps because I don't want to take the risk, right?
See, I just figured I'll try 80, and it was a decent weight. It was a challenge by the third set to complete it, and I definitely felt it. But because I don't want to focus so much on my lower body, I know I have to work it, but I don't want to focus on it. I spend more time on my chest, arms, shoulders, that kind of stuff, back. Uh, I get in and out. I do what I can on the leg day, and I it's my quickest workout. It's also my most strenuous workout because I just want to get it done. So I'm like, I'll put more weight and I'll put more volume on it, and I'll just boom because I'm not going to revisit it for another 6 days probably.
Yeah.
So anyway, CMAX says which way to the beach. I don't know what she's referring to, but yeah, the beach is south of me and it's icy. But yeah, so every other day, supposed to 3 times a week, and that means I'm going on weekends now, which is nice because it's not as busy on the weekends. Go figure. I don't know why, but it isn't. Let's move right
Oh,
on to do you even. Sorry, did you have something else to say?
I've had this terrible idea. I don't know if I've brought it up with you. Have
What's
I
that?
asked you if you want to open a gym?
Open a gym, you and me?
Yeah, yeah,
Where?
wherever, it doesn't matter. The point is like the
What
business
do I
model.
know about opening a gym? What do I know about running a gym?
You just got to have equipment in a space and take people's money for monthlies or yearly memberships. The thing is,
Fair enough.
it's my unique business model that is going to make us world famous.
Okay, what's that?
The business model is based on incessant banning. We will ban people left and right. It's basically just me being pissed at people not understanding gym etiquette and banned. And we'll call it Dick's Gym.
Dick's gym.
Okay. You
So
walk
there's not
away.
going to be a lunk alarm.
No,
You're going to ban people for like really inane garbage, not like, oh, you dropped the weights or you grunting too loud. You're going to ban them
correct.
for other stuff. You're going to ban them
If
for
you're
what?
if you walk
You didn't
away
wipe
from a
down that
machine
machine, you're
and you
banned.
didn't wipe, banned, no refunds. All right. Attendance.
CMAC's offering to do the office shit. There you go. You can
Yeah, for
promote us
sure.
on the social medias. We're at
Fucking
Dick's Gym. I like it.
you don't re-rack your weights, banned, no refunds.
Yeah.
Right? Fucking attendants will go through the locker rooms every couple of hours and open every locker without a lock on it. If there's stuff inside it, they throw it in the garbage. You can go fish it out of the dumpster. If you're not going to put a lock on it, you don't need a fucking locker. Okay? That's it.
Wow, you're angry.
We will not
You're not
accept
even drunk and you're angry.
we will not accept new memberships from December 15th till January 15th. Fuck your resolution. Come when you're actually ready. Okay? That's when we take you. We don't take the fucking noobs who come around and use all the machines wrong and don't understand shit about the gym and all the
And
etiquette. We just go, no.
then they've stopped coming by March.
Yeah, right. And like, you'd think I'd want their money? No, because I'm just gonna have to fucking ban them anyway. I'd rather just avoid the trouble. And you know what's great is we'll make a big fucking production of it, like yelling at people, "Get the fuck out! Don't take a picture, put it on the wall." And everybody that comes to the gym and understands this etiquette and does things the right way, we'll have them for life. They'll never leave. It'll be their only gym. They'll tell their friends, like, "You got to come to this gym. These guys are fantastic."
They're insane, but they're fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I would be intimidated by a gym like that because I know I've got bad form. Are you going to ban someone for bad form?
No, God, no. No, 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 no. For people who treat the gym well,
Yeah.
right? They'll treat gym goers well too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The worst thing that'll happen is you'll be given unsolicited advice,
Yeah, okay.
right? But
Fair
like
enough.
for the like, you don't wipe your machine down, or you're hogging three, four pieces of equipment around your bench. It's like, no, man. Everybody pays for it. You know what? Four guys standing around a bench with like, four different sets of dumbbells, and nobody is on the bench doing reps. All four of you banned. Get the fuck out. All right. It's there's a little section at the front with tables and chairs. You can buy a fucking smoothie. You can be social there. Do not occupy the equipment to chat.
That's right. I saw
Gym
a video on you ever watch MXR Plays?
no.
MXR
Maybe.
Plays he's a guy who does he got his start doing mod reviews for Skyrim, but now he does React videos with his girlfriend Jeannie. And and they were showing this it was all like sort of pixelated because they didn't want to show people's faces. But some guy was doing deadlifts with a barbell on the ground, and some dude walked up and says, "Dude, you've been on this fucking bar for an hour. Every time somebody comes up to you, you say you got one more set. You got one more set. What the fuck are you doing? Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, well, you can use it. No, no, fuck that. I don't give a shit. I'm just yelling at you. He starts tearing into the guy for basically dominating the barbell, the squat barbell for like an hour. Right? I'm sure he was.
Yeah, that's way
He
too
was.
long. And like, let people work in.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Yeah, I've done that. I've worked like they only have one of the lateral raise machines at the
yeah,
gym.
yeah.
Like you can use they have lots of cables, like places where you can do cable raises at lateral
Hmm.
raises. But they have one machine dedicated to lateral raises, and I'm working in with other people on that constantly because it's a very popular machine.
Hmm. Is
What
it
you
the elbow
described
room?
is called a country club, says GZ.
Yeah.
Sorry, sir, you're banned. Uh, yeah, I'm down. I'm behind that. I don't have any money to invest in it, but I like the concept.
Let's do it.
All right, sounds good. All right, let's move on to do you even game, bro? I played anything fun lately? I've been playing a lot of City of Heroes, as you can well see.
I almost played City of Heroes, but then you were doing a tutorial and I got real drunk.
And I was quite affected last night by my indulgences. I took a cannabinoid last night, and yeah, I was having a good old time. It was fun. I think CMAC enjoyed it. She seemed to be laughing. Um, Not squaring for 6 hours straight on one set of 100K. I think does he mean staring?
Squatting?
Stop. Dread. Quiet. Yeah, she sees. We're getting new patio doors put in, and we're going to get patio doors that have those blinds built in because
Okay.
she sees someone walking their dog at the condo behind us, and she starts barking her head off. And I'm like, dogs have shitty eyesight. How can she see someone walking their dog like that's like 300 feet away in the dark?
Fuck. Now I heard it, but I didn't know I
It's
was
funny.
hearing it, and now he's calling it
My
out,
dog
and
sounds like a
now I hear it.
turkey.
I can't unhear it.
Yeah, she does. Your dog sounds. I promise to not ban Craig Bragg from the gym of Irving Twin. Uh, LOL does actually. Yeah, you guys are cute. Took a cannabinoid. Yeah, I know. I know. I had an edible. It was quite good. Got me good and high.
The lockers thing. Oh God, man, you don't understand. The gym is packed. There's people all in there, right? Opening each locker, there's stuff crammed into each locker.
What are you doing?
There's a there's a long locker. I open the long locker. Oh, thank God it's empty. Top shelf, a hat. In the entire long fucking locker, guys put his baseball cap up there.
You can't wear the baseball cap in the gym? Like
You
seriously,
can't just
if you're
set it
worried
on
about it
top of the
getting in the
locker.
way of doing cable exercise, put it on backwards. Like that's ridiculous. So people use the lockers, but they don't put locks on them. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. And
See,
if you're not going to
I
lock,
don't find that at Movati.
if you're not going to lock it, you don't need a locker. That's just what it is,
Yeah, just use
right?
the coat rack.
Yeah, we'll have plenty of coat racks and hangers, but attendants will go through the locker rooms regularly and just open, unlock lockers. If there's something in there, straight in the garbage.
Well,
Right?
it's just on the floor. Then
Go
just
dig it
on the
out
floor.
yourself.
But
Don't
mind you,
ask me for it.
you don't want to affect other patrons. If you're just throwing shit on the floor, then that's getting in the way of your other patrons too.
Yeah. Oh no, it's going in the garbage, so you have to go fish it out. And if you come and say, "Hey, my stuff is from the locker with no lock on it," oh, so it was you. You're banned. People won't do that. They got to go to the garbage and fish it out themselves.
Oh, that was you. You're banned.
Yeah.
Um, and then just have a lost and found. Hey, I had a hat in this locker and it's not there anymore. Check the lost and found, and like there'd be just like tons of shit in there, and just
No, no, just
and you know like we'll have our lunch at the counter, and when we're done, we'll put the lunch containers in the lost and found, so their stuff gets all covered in grease and shit.
or
Just
just
at a
spray
just.
paint lost and found on the big green dumpster in the back of the building.
All right. So have you haven't been playing City Heroes? I don't know if I don't know if C-Mac's been playing. She was like bounding
Yeah,
on ahead. She was like level 20, level 21. I think she said last night that she's playing the going rogue side of it now, which is kind of neat. I don't know if she's continuing to play. I don't know if Pox has been on either. We did that one casual AF with you where we played and you were we had like a little super group going.
yeah, we really did. And fucking even oh shit, who was it?
Uh,
Bark Bark
Mr.
Nom Nom.
Dax,
Mr.
Mr. Dax.
Dax.
Yeah, Mr. Dax was playing uh Bark
Bark Bark
Bark
Nom
Nom Nom. Bark Bark Nom Nom. Yeah,
Nom. The werewolf police officer
that's right. The- that's right. That's a great character.
who summons
Shit.
bees.
Yeah, he fucking
No, the
summons
bees are
bees.
fucking deadly.
Yeah. Someone's
More of a
bees and a
baby.
hawk and two wolves and a lioness. Yeah, it's pretty
Fucking
awesome.
crazy.
Anyway, folks, if you haven't played City of Heroes, it's free. You can go to uh, City of Heroes Homecoming wiki or forums or whatever, and download the client and play it. It's free. It's always will be, and yeah, hopefully you get more and more people. Right now, they're doing pretty well for a private server that's hosting like an ages old game. You know what I think would really do well? I don't know if you ever watch any gaming YouTubers, but there's a YouTuber called Joss Strife Hayes, and he does Worst MMO is one of his series where he basically goes and looks at these MMOs
Mm.
and he judges them, right? And and I sent him a message, dude. City of Heroes is live now. You should go do it because it's an old one, and it would really benefit from you doing. Was it a, worst MMO ever, or was it any good kind of thing? So hopefully he does at some point. Pox says I've been slave mastering on Pal World. I need to figure out how to set up my controller on COH. You have a controller? Oh, your controller. Yeah, I know you can. It'll take keybinds for a controller. The keyboard mouse shit sucks. Yeah, you get used to it. I'm used to it now. I hardly use my mouse. I use my arrow keys and my numbers at the top of the
Yeah, I
keypad
found that was
keyboard.
the way that I was mostly going. It's for combat, especially, right? If you're just
Yeah,
like,
but even just running around, if you use your arrow keys and your numbers to fight, yeah, you're fine. But anyway, let's move on from Do You Even Game Bro because I don't want to spend too long on it.
hmm. No, because we have
Roll,
actual topics tonight.
we have actual topics tonight. That's right. Uh, I want to talk about the title of this particular story or live stream tonight: the censorship industrial complex. Do you watch Tucker Carlson at all, there, Twin?
I mean, I see the clips. You know,
Yeah.
I don't sit down and watch an hour and a half, 2 hours of interview with
Well,
the
he
spook.
he typically only does like a 20-minute or 30-minute short video, but
Oh, really? I thought they were usually hour long podcasts.
he has longer form stuff where he does an interview. So he did the interview with Putin, that of course was about 2 hours,
Yeah.
and then he did an interview the other day with a guy called Mike Benz. And I'm going to share it real quick, just so you guys can see it. If you haven't seen it, it's worth watching. It's about an hour long. We're not going to do obviously the whole thing. This was episode 75, but Mike Benz basically breaks down uh, the censorship industrial complex that we've all been living under for the last, well, visibly for the last 6 to 8 years, but before that, even longer. Let's see here. One moment. I'm going to share it. Present.
freedom of speech. To the extent this country is actually exceptional, it's because we have the First Amendment to the Bill of Rights. We have freedom of conscience. We can say what we really think. There's no hate speech exception to that. Just
That's not how it is here in Canada. I'm gonna
Yeah.
fast forward till we get to this guy here, this Mike Benz guy. He looks like a freak, but
He looks like if he had bigger shoulders and he was just carrying a hammer, it's like the dwarves are invading.
oh, it's like slowed down. Probably has time to load. Okay, I'm not gonna bother. Anyway, Mike Benz goes on to explain how um, in the early days of the internet, before there was social media, there was the CIA and the uh, intelligence networks in the United States used the internet uh, to promote democracy. Basically, the Green Revolutions, the Arab Spring, all that sort of stuff. The internet was used to basically foment revolution and enact coups around the world in favor of democracy, right? But it wasn't until 2016 when you had a populist leader like Donald Trump who basically bypassed traditional media, who were already bought and paid for by the
Mm.
intelligence community, um, and went directly to the people and was actually promising to do what people wanted as opposed to keep the status quo alive. Um, and they were like, "What the hell do we do?" And so I think they saw long before the outcome of the 2016 election that he was primed to win it, and they're like, "We have to do something to stop him." So basically, they weaponized Five Eyes to go after a U.S. citizen uh, by fabricating charges against the guy and having them put into the hands of the FBI by a foreign intelligence agency so that they could get a FISA warrant, which, if you saw my video today, was initially denied by the judge because it was flimsy. And then they go in and they doctor the FISA warrant application to say something that was not true. They said Carter Page was a, um, a member of the intelligence community, but he wasn't actually a member of the intelligence community. He had been a member of the intelligence community. And they used that as the premise to get the FISA warrant illegally. They lied on the application to get the FISA warrant. And basically used a FISA warrant to spy on Donald Trump and his campaign. And this all happened under the Obama administration. And Obama was, well, I had nothing to do with it. I didn't know anything about it. Of course he knew about it. Absolutely, they serve at his discretion. Of course
He's
he
the
knew about it.
kingpin.
He would have been briefed about it. Absolutely, because Obama was a player. He played their game. Obama was probably an idealistic young senator who had all sorts of dreams about how he was going to save America and that kind of stuff. But then, as soon as he actually got some traction in the political world and became president, they said, "Now here's how it's really going to go," and he fucking folded. So, Doggy wants to go out again. One moment, please.
I don't believe that about Barack Obama. I think he was like a cocksucker the whole time.
You think he was a cocksucker the whole time? He very well might have been. I mean, he did marry a man, so he's inculcated in the whole cult. But yeah, it very well might be. But I give politicians the benefit of the doubt. I think a lot of politicians start
Why?
their careers out thinking, I know why, I know. I think a lot of politicians might start their careers thinking they're going to do some good, but then they get in the mud and they start to realize how the game is played, and then they're like, okay, I have to abandon my principles if I want to get even a fraction of what I think is good happening. So they do. They sacrifice their principles and they become parts of the machine. So anyway, it's a good interview. I suggest you all watch it. Go over to X. Go to Tucker Carlson if you're not already following him on X. You should. This was his most recent interview. I think it's number 76, 75, episode 75. Yeah, it's worth watching. This guy is very interesting. It's about an hour long. You can find an hour in your day to watch this. Um, but yeah, I strongly recommend you watch it. But that's why I made the video today. That Trump was right, as he so often is. Uh, the Obama CIA, the Obama White House, was spying on his campaign because they knew he was an actual threat. Despite the media saying he's not going to win, he's not going to win, and everybody making fun of him, saying it was all just a stunt, the reason they went so hard in trying to undermine the credibility of the campaign was the fact that they knew, fuck, he's going to win. And I knew he was going to win, and he did. We got a few more comments.
I liked
Is that a
Dave
golem?
Chappelle's take.
Think she's talking about Mike Pence.
Yeah,
Craig and Irv, hey, Pox, Costin, and C-Mac. Hey, Six, good to see you, buddy.
I very much like Dave Chappelle's take
Yes.
on why people like Donald Trump. That they
Yeah.
all live in this big, enormous house behind the high fences, and Donald Trump came out from that house and said to the masses, "You know all that stuff that you think they're doing in there? They are doing it. They're doing it."
It's
And then he
true.
went back in.
This sounds like a limited hangout. I'm not too bad.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. I was
Cock
gonna ask
sucker.
about.
Cock sucker. What's up, Six? Says Puck. Yeah. So, thoughts, Mr. Twin, on the whole thing? I
Well,
know you haven't watched Tucker's video, but on my video, let's say, and your thoughts on the idea of a censorship industrial complex that basically has been undermining democracy in the West since before Donald Trump became president. Basically, trying to silence people and keep democracy from actually functioning uh, through efforts of coordination between intelligence and social media and legacy media.
well, way back in the when was that November 2016? I
Sure.
put out my first video.
Was that right?
I think so.
Okay.
And I was getting regular growth.
Yeah.
I was a small channel that would get occasional promotion like YouTube did, right? Algorithmically, you watch this kind of thing, you might actually, hey, this guy might be like that. Do you like it? And every time I put out a video, I was getting, 30, 40, 50 new subs, right? And then suddenly the ad apocalypse,
Yeah.
which was the April after I had started putting out videos. And suddenly I don't get subscribers anymore.
Yeah.
And my people that are subscribed aren't getting notifications to my videos anymore.
There's
That's the case to this day.
That's just it. And you know what? Some of your subscribers, you may have people who you think are subscribed to you, and they think they're subscribed to you, but they're not anymore. Uh, I watch a channel called Felix Rex, also Black Pigeon Speaks.
Yeah.
So
He's
every
Canadian,
time
man.
he does a video, he says, "Hey, check to see that you're subscribed," because thousands of people are being unsubscribed without their knowledge. And sure enough, I go and check, and I'm no longer subscribed. I'm like, what
Well,
the
it's
fuck?
a it's a big old trick that YouTube plays, right?
So what?
They
How do
don't
they how do
give
they determine whether or not you're going to be subscribed to somebody?
no. You subscribe to a person and you
Yeah,
say all notifications.
yeah,
But YouTube doesn't always send out the notification to you.
right.
So it doesn't send out a notification
Got to
and you
get the
don't watch
dog
the
in.
new video because you don't know it's there.
Right.
Second video, you don't get a notification. You don't
Come,
watch it. Third video, you don't get a notification. And
JD,
YouTube goes,
come,
you're not watching these guys' videos. We're just going to unsubscribe you.
come.
We've done you a favor because you stopped watching this channel. So we'll take you off the subscriber list.
Yeah, I think that's it too, right? Like I have a lot of subscriptions, and if you don't watch something that they do send you a notification on, they're like, "Oh, obviously you don't want to watch this dude anymore," so they unsub
Yeah.
you. Yeah. Well, no, it's not that. It's just I only have so much time in the day. Like you really
Yeah.
only want to have like 6 subscriptions, and I go through phases. Sometimes I'm all in on the political stuff. Sometimes I'm really into 3D printing stuff. Sometimes I'm really into Warhammer lore. My moods change as time goes on, right? So anyway, next 6 minutes says I get unsubbed to people all the time. People get unsubbed to me all the time. Yeah, YouTube's a pile of horse shit. That's why I do a simul stream on Twitch, which is also dying, and X. I really do hope that X can sort of fill in the gaps that YouTube and Twitch and some of the other ones are leaving behind, because
Twitch is
it's
just
nice to be able to
farm league.
broadcast on X.
Twitch is just the farm league for OnlyFans now.
It's true. Farm League for OnlyFans. That's so true. It's so true. All the fucking e-thoughts who are like, I'm not taking my clothes off. I'll just wear a skimpy outfit and play video games, or sit in my bathtub, and then people start sending her subs and sending her like tips and stuff like that. And she's like, maybe I can make more money on OnlyFans.
Fucking, did you hear the AI robot voice that burned the fuck out of one of those girls?
No,
It's just, you got to imagine the AI robot voice. We will
yeah.
no longer call them e-thoughts. They are called eye-ladies. She's like, eye-ladies. Yeah, I like that, eye-ladies. And the robot voice, eye-ladies nuts on your face.
I think I did see that. That's fucking funny. Yeah. So anyway, censorship industrial complex. Yeah. So basically, what this Mike Benz goes on to say is the intelligence community, while they've been using the internet and Twitter in the early days to help foment these revolutions and coups and such sort of thing, uh, they weren't prepared for the power of it to be used against them. And so that's why you got things like Brexit and Donald Trump's election. And they were so worried that there was going to be, a Greece exit, a Grexit, or a Frexit, So they started weaponizing social media. So now we're at a point where canceling somebody, silencing somebody for saying unpopular shit or stuff that just might be wrong, labeled as disinformation or misinformation, is now a virtue. So you have people, fascists, calling people who want to speak their mind fascists.
Yeah.
And this is the virtue now. Yeah. And if you call
Well,
them fascists, like, no, I'm not a fascist. You're a right winger. You're a fascist. Fascism's of the left, folks. It always has been.
Yeah,
Um,
it's collectivism. Well, no, like it's that rules for radicals stuff, right?
yeah. One sec. Yeah, yeah. Saul Alinsky. Yeah.
Where it's much harder to take down the institution. You can't attack the institution directly, so you target a single member of the institution, an individual, and take them down, and then you go after another,
Sorry.
and then another, until what's been propping up the institution is now all taken down, and then the institution just collapses, right?
Yeah.
Are you saying I can make more money in the bathtub than I do in the office? Depends what
Yes.
you're doing in there, honey.
Yeah. Yes. You probably can, but don't do it. Don't prostitute yourself. I mean, there's an argument to be made that if you work in an office, you're prostituting yourself as well. But don't do it.
Yeah, I've heard that terrible fucking. Yeah, if you go to a labor job, you're selling your body. Fuck off.
No.
I'm
Well,
selling my.
you're selling your time. You're selling your time. The difference between OnlyFans and pornography and prostitution is that there's no value in it because you're not doing anything. You're not doing anything that requires any talent.
No. It's literal productivity. When that e-thought turns off the camera, nothing has changed. Nothing's got done. There are no accomplishments. When
Right.
you punch out of your labor job at the end of the day, you, I don't know, moved 10,000 packages into the place they belong. They're getting on a
Right.
plane now.
Cleared
Maybe you
cleared
got all this
27 errors. Yeah,
Maybe you
exactly.
got all this food onto trucks that's now going to a grocery store.
Right.
Something changed while you were there. You're not selling your body, you're selling productivity.
Right. So an OnlyFans model, uh, a, a a porn star, an e-porn star. That's essentially what they are. They're doing porn. Uh, the productivity is they got 4,000 men to release, which they would have done anyway. They don't need you. They could have done that on their own. They don't need you to do it. C-Mac Times, it's funny. Uncle Jesus, I tried OnlyFans, it didn't work. I had to pay them to subscribe to my page. Yeah, that's a diminishing returns there, I think. So yeah, what do you think about OnlyFans and the um, the new internet economy?
The new internet economy.
The new internet pornographic economy.
It's not an economy. Like it masquerades itself as an economy. It sells itself as an economy. But what is it? It's like only the top 0.1% of creators on OnlyFans
Oh yeah,
get
are actually
any
making
actual money,
yeah.
and they're
Most
getting
most people are
all
not
of the
making
money.
much money.
Yeah, that like for cam streaming and doing these cam shows 4 to 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, people are making less than $100. That's the vast majority, like to the tune of 99% plus. You know,
It's creating multi-generational slags and roasties.
right, but that's the other thing is once they've done it, doesn't matter that they didn't make any money. They're slags and roasties. Like,
Become an ethos. No, what you do, Six, start an OnlyFans, okay? And uh, what you just read your book on OnlyFans
see
and
now
wear like a silk bathrobe while you're doing it.
what's amazing is that's what OnlyFans was.
Hmm.
It was just for like, hey, here's an arts and craftsy thing. You can sell this. You can buy this stuff on Etsy,
Yeah.
or you can directly from the OnlyFans. And then the porn people got into it, and a handful of porn stars who were already like, that's the trick to being famous on the internet is be famous already, then start a YouTube channel,
Right.
right? Be already famous, then start an OnlyFans. That's what I'm the Twitch farm league. Yeah, those chicks farm leagued themselves into some sort of fame and then moved over to OnlyFans. That's how it works now. But you can't just jump on OnlyFans and expect to make a whole lot of money. It doesn't work
No.
like that.
No. Because you got the same thing that every other person on OnlyFans has. You've got a body. And here's my thought. I don't think there's much difference between prostitution and pornography. You're being paid to have sex. The difference is there's a camera in front of you or there's not a camera in front of you.
You want to make the argument about performance and entertainment. I mean, I don't know. Like, it's not for everybody. I understand that, but some people can actually fucking do it and get by and be okay.
I bet you if I pee on feet, I get rich pretty quick. Just saying. C-Mac, I have no doubt. No, that's not my thing. I'm not into the water sports, but
Well, this is the
some
thing. This
people
is
are.
the thing. That niche place, right? It's low volume, high margin, and it
Yeah,
works, right? You'll get one guy spending $10,000 a month, right? Like,
yeah. The
yeah,
whales. They call them whales.
yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't get it, but it is what it is. Now that being said, I wouldn't want those people censored. I actually like the idea of a free internet where people can go and get what they want. Um, in terms of entertainment, titillation, information, that kind of stuff. Uh, but uh, but yeah, not for me, and I don't think it's necessarily good for society. I don't think it's necessarily good for the people consuming it or producing it. But I also am ostensibly a libertarian, and I don't want to stand in people's way
Mm.
to to seek out their livelihood or do what they want to do. As long as people are consenting and nobody's actually being harmed, nobody's being exploited, do what thou will. Just know that it's not necessarily the best course. Let's see. Pay pigs, says Pox. All porn should require ID. Yeah, you know what's funny?
It did for the
Some
longest
state,
time.
yeah, well, I mean, but the thing is, like on the line,
Yeah, now
it's
there's
very
internet.
easy to bypass that. Confirm that you're over 18. Sure, I'm over 18. Click, click. And you just click the box, right? But there's some states that are now requiring you to, if you want to access like a porn tube site, so it's like a YouTube with porn clips on it or whatever. You want to
Yeah.
access it, like Virginia, I think did this, and I think I want to say South Carolina did this. If you want to access those tube sites, you have to show your face. They use AI algorithms. You have to enable your camera on whatever it is you want to watch on, and they do an AI algorithm to determine that you're above the age of whatever. And once it confirms that yes, you are above the age, or you've got to scan a piece of ID. That's the other
Hmm.
thing. You can scan a piece of ID or scan your face. And once it determines that you're above the age of whatever, then it'll allow you to access it. I'm like, how did they implement that? I mean, I guess it's just your IP is located in this state, therefore you have to jump through this loophole to access this porn site. Yeah, it's crazy. The issue is that porn is exploitative, harmful by its nature.
I don't know that that's correct
I don't
though.
know if it is by its nature. I think it's so close to prostitution that it blurs the line. And prostitution is historically exploitative, but from a point of view of consumer and consumee, it's also the oldest profession. So, like, uh,
Well, no, look, I mean, exploitative, yes, but I mean that that's why those idiots will say you're selling your body at your labor job. No, there's always some kind of like if you farm your own food, you're exploiting your own labor for food. Yes, but is it harmful? Shit, I don't know how many fucking blisters and splinters I've gotten from fucking tilling up a yard. Like, yeah, of course, there's some things in it that suck. Some people can be paramedics. Some people can't. Like, you can't take that shit. Is it harmful by its nature? No. Some people are better equipped to deal with it, and yeah,
yes,
those are
over
farming a
farming a
field.
field will fuck it up. Yeah, I guess you want to argue.
You got to rotate your crops, okay?
Moving on. Have you heard what? Did you hear what our glorious? And sorry for the Americans in here who aren't really up on Canadian politics. This is Canadian politics section. I agree with Stephen Guilbeault, a phrase I thought I'd never ever say. Did you hear
Yeah,
the?
but
Did
you
you hear
agree for the
Stephen
wrong reason.
Guilbeault's in the news? Not just because he's fighting with Danielle Smith. I think secretly he wants her to peg him, but um, he's in the news because he said the quiet part out loud. Apparently, he wants to stop sending federal funds to provinces and municipalities to build roads. And of course, people are up in arms about this. We need the money from the federal government to build roads. Blah blah blah. Rubble rubble. That kind of stuff. I'm of the mind that people in municipalities and provinces should not be getting federal money to build roads because the federal government should not be getting that money in the first place.
You're
Anyway,
agreeing with the right thing for the wrong reasons, and actually agree a different thing is the underlying cause that you agree that isn't actually there. But before we get deeper into this, do you want to
Fox
see?
is all about her. No, you win. I'm totally saying yes. It is exploitative and it's harmful, but I still think people should be free to do those things. You should be free to harm yourself. If
You
you
want to
if
see
you
Stephen Guilbeault's favorite sex position?
what's that?
You want to see Stephen Guilbeault's favorite sex position?
Sure. I don't get it.
While he's filming his wife get plowed by another guy.
Oh, he's a cuck. Is that what you're saying? Okay, kill yourself. Fine. But it harms society. Yeah, as a whole, I do believe that pornography is bad for society as a whole. I think it's not good. I completely agree. But
Do you remember that?
I also don't believe that the good of society should be the paramount thing that we consider when we make decisions about what people should be free to do or not do. That's my point of view.
What was that documentary about social medias? Not the drama one, the social network. There was a documentary that came out.
I'm not sure.
Oh, and at the beginning, they're talking about how like this is permeating like all of society, and it's actually making life difficult, especially for younger generations growing up in it. And the documentarian's asking them, so what is the problem? What is the problem?
Right.
And no one's answering that question, and they don't answer it throughout the whole movie because the answer is the problem is people, right?
Yeah.
You hold up an algorithmic mirror to people, and they just stare into it, right?
Pox
That's
says, "Yeah, I used to agree, but look at what freedom plus ignorance has turned the world into." Well, this speaks to your point. People naturally behave badly. People will behave badly. I don't think we should endorse it, and I certainly don't think we should subsidize it. But I think it's something we have to accept that people are going to make bad decisions for themselves and for other people. And I totally agree that it would be nice if the world weren't so fucked up because we've allowed far too much liberty in certain areas. But I also think that liberty is worth the um, worth all the bad shit, all the messiness that comes with it. That's how I view on it. The dark side of social media was a good one. Maybe that's what it's called. The dark side of social media.
maybe but I can't remember the title of it. This is the result of that hippie do what feels good bullshit, right? But I mean, you don't prevent that by censoring it. I mean, you probably could, but that would
Right.
require, in the end, a whole lot of violence, which is
Right.
why you try to avoid that path. The best thing you can do is what Pox is doing: raise your kids well,
Yes.
right? And then, give an opportunity, reach out to your kids' friends' parents, right? And check in with who's doing what, and without trying to be too preachy, talk to other
Restrict
parents.
internet access to children until they're 18.
Sure, of course, right? But like the little bit you do, clean your room. You can't
Slay
fix
your
the world.
dragon.
You can't
Rescue
fix the
your
world.
father from the underworld. There is more mess than decency. You're absolutely right. And do you know whose fault that is? Women. We should never have given women the right to vote. They've
I
screwed
was
up
going to say they
society.
were supposed to be cleaning it all up, but instead they went out and got dubbed.
Never avoid violins. I don't know.
Violence?
I think that's a play on words.
Yes.
Sorry, but I've got pox beat. I homeschooled and had a 17-year-old virgin in my house. Good for you.
A
Good for
unicorn.
you. I'm not going to get into the weeds with regards to your 17-year-old. I was going to say something really regressive. Are you sure she's a virgin? No, never mind. Um, wash your penis, bucko. That reminds
But
me.
exactly, right? You can't go out and change all of society, even though you may wish to by banning porn outright. But what you
Yeah,
can do is make sure that your daughters are raised in such a way that they wouldn't even consider doing it.
OnlyFans. That's right.
And then also make sure that there's a support group for them in terms of their friends and their friends' parents who believe the same things. And you got to start, you can think globally, but you got to act locally, right? And you
Right.
start by cleaning your, right, get your own house in order is literally what we used to say until Jordan Peterson went, clean your room,
Yeah.
wash your penis.
Wash your penis. I have to share something. I'm going to move right on to Pox Toxic's toxic takes because this thing fucking made me howl. Fuck me.
I thought I dropped a pretty good one today.
You did too, yes.
I don't think we can show it on YouTube though.
That's okay.
Oh yeah.
This is Hitler the Frog, and he, well, let's answer some questions. Address the Jewish question. Kill them all. This is Hitler the Frog, and he, well, let's answer some questions. Address the Jewish question. Kill them all. This is
Oh fuck. You also shared this, and it made me want to
Oh,
hurl. No, you shared this one.
yeah, but
Oh, God, past. That's fucking awful. We're gonna get struck for that because that's just fucking awful.
pretty
It's
graphic.
clearly a sculpture, but it's still awful. Dear God, no, you're not going out. Dog wants to go out and eat more frozen poop. Uh, I mean, there are solutions to problems like porn. Some first solutions and some of them more final. I like the final ones. Base cheesy. Um, I had an idea on how you might fight the porn problem. I think I made a video about it. You use AI. You use AI to basically scrub all, well, originally, specifically, clown porn, CP, as it were.
Ah,
Use AI to constantly be scrubbing all public internet, all public files, constantly, um, for anything that resembles images that are exploiting children. And it immediately removes those images or transforms them into something else. And of course, it logs where those images are stored and contacts the appropriate authorities. But eventually, AI, I think that could be something that you could use AI for. AI could do that.
I mean, sort of, yeah.
I think so. And I think that would be worthwhile doing. Getting rid of all porn. Here's the thing, some stuff that's completely legal is going to get caught up in it for sure. So that might actually help the porn problem. But first and foremost, I think the exploitation of children in pornography would be,
Yeah,
using AI to scrub the internet of that. I think it could be done.
that's the importantest one. But like maybe the AI makes the same mistake that some bitter, unattractive, what over the hill would.
Amazon drone delivers a wood chipper. Yes, cheesy. That's another solution.
But yeah, maybe the AI starts making the same mistake as some of the past the wall women who get real upset when they see a young woman in porn
Yeah.
because of how pretty and nubile she appears to be, right? And like they'll start saying things like, "Oh, if men like this, then they're literal pedophiles." It's like, hold on, you would condemn this adult woman to never have a sexual relationship with anyone because she looks young to you.
Well, hey, you know what? In Canada, that is enough for it to be against the law. You can have pornography on your computer of a woman who's clearly above the age of 18, but is wearing makeup and an outfit and her hair styled in such a way so as to make her look young. Technically, that could be construed as child pornography, and the government could come after you for that. The cops could come after you for that.
That is absolutely the most pants on head retarded thing I've ever heard. Suddenly
But
I'm
it's
like,
true.
no, no, no,
But it's
no.
true.
All wrong. More porn. Spam it with porn.
But what I'm saying is, it's true. In Canada, just if somebody could look at it and say that could be construed as a child, as a person under the age of 18, therefore, or an actor saying, I mean, this would be really, really stupid on the part of the actor. An actor who's above the age of 18 saying that they're under the age of 18 in the film. Even if they go and take it to court and they prove, no, I was actually above the age of 18 when I did that. It was
Hold
part of the
on.
role
That happens in
playing,
Hollywood films all
blah,
the
blah, blah.
time.
What's that?
That happens in Hollywood films all the time.
Yeah, but that's not porn, right? That's considered art.
Well, then you got to fall back on anything that's filmed is therefore like entertainment and
No, I agree.
performance
Yeah,
art.
I know. It's
Just
it's
because you
it's a
don't
double
like that
standard.
particular kind of performance art,
I'm
right?
saying Canada's laws, insofar as pornography is concerned, are very, very restrictive, and maybe that's good, but I think it's skirting the line when you start talking about uh, going after people for what they think of something. It's like going after somebody for artwork that is depicting something that is salacious or taboo, right? If it's drawn image and there's no exploitation going on, it's creepy, man. And it's like, how if you killed if you killed and mutilated an animal, like a stray cat or whatever, that doesn't make you a serial killer, but it sure gets some fucking alarms going. If you're
Right.
looking at a lot of like hentai that is of questionable nature, okay, maybe you're not, but it's it's got our alarms going, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
but can you say the same about people that draw it?
I yeah,
You know
you
what I
could.
mean?
You could say the same thing about people who draw it.
I don't know if it's.
Why are you particularly drawing that stuff?
I don't
You
know if it's
obviously find it
spit it out,
titillating.
though. Like yeah, sorry, I was on Minds back when they started doing the whole trying to spam CP and people went after it and taking it down and it went overboard and so it's illegal for me to wear my high school uniform and do the bad touch. I went to a
C-Mac.
Catholic school. I'm blushing.
Oh shit. Shame. It still looks good on me too. Jesus, C-Mac. Costin's in the chat. You're killing the guy. Take a cold shower, C-Mac. He says, I'm clean.
Just had a hot salt soak.
I just had a hot salt soak. Yeah, she did a bubble bath, she said. The reality is that the weaves pay top dollar for smut. Yes. Yes, that's right. They do. If your decency has a price tag, you're part of the problem. It's kind of cryptic. I'm not sure what he means, but
Oh, like if you're an artist and the only way for you to make money is to sell your lolicon drawings,
oh, I see. Yeah.
and you're part of the problem. But I mean,
Yeah, no. If you're drawing that, you obviously have some sort of titillation for it. You
I
get
don't know.
titillated by someone. Would you play baseball if you hated the game of baseball?
You don't have to go extreme opposite. What if you're just good at baseball, and even though you don't really care for it that much, it's not that important to you. You're really good at it, and it makes money.
I don't see that.
Why did we go from loving it too much to hating it entirely? What about that middle
Okay,
of the
well,
road
no,
guy?
okay. Even if you don't hate it, even I don't see somebody who has a talent for throwing a ball going into the field of baseball when they don't care for the game. I just don't see that happening. I think
But
you
it
have to be passionate about the sport that you're engaged in to have any success in it. You might have a good arm, but if you don't really love the game, I think if you have a good arm, you're probably going to end up loving the game because you're going to end up getting accolades for
probably,
your for
yeah.
your
There's
for your
yeah. I mean,
fastball. But let's say you'd rather be throwing a spear in the Olympics. You know what I mean? Or javelin in the Olympics. Uh, if you would rather be a javelin thrower, but somebody says, "Hey, yeah, I know you like to throw the javelin, but we'd like you to play on our AAA team." I don't know that you would necessarily go for it. You might go
look,
for it just like, I need to make some money, but would you be good at it?
the drawing of it doesn't hurt anyone, right? Like
No,
it.
you're right, and that's the thing. I don't think it's something that should be illegal to produce artwork, but it definitely raises eyebrows and it definitely raises some alarms if you do draw it and you draw it prolifically and you sell it and other people consume it. Those are all alarms for people. Even if you've never consumed a piece of actual, bad CP, then the fact that you're looking at this stuff leads one to question, okay, this is your gateway drug. You're eventually going to start consuming that shit.
How about this comment, if you please? This is very important. No,
If
no.
you're okay, so we saw that path of least resistance. I got this. If you're winning at it, you will do things you don't love. I did it.
So I have known a number of ballerinas.
Okay.
Many of them absolutely came to absolutely hate dance, hate their dance instructors, hate the dance culture, and they just continued doing it because they didn't know anything else. Like literally, I knew a couple of girls whose mothers would do their homework so they could spend 7 hours, 5 days a week after school at the dance studio because they were fucking winning.
Right, but in that sense, though, now the kid probably did like it when they first started.
Mm-hmm.
They learned to hate it because of the culture and because of the pressure
But
put on them by
but it's all
by
they
the
know,
adults.
and they do it for a living, and they don't like it any. They do absolutely hate it and hate the people involved. Like, but that's it. That's what they do now.
Yeah.
They throw the ball. You
Okay.
know,
It's kind of a. I mean, it's a moot point. I agree with Pox on this. It's bad. Shouldn't be done. You shouldn't do it. And if you do it, it makes people suspicious of you.
but hold on. See, but that point that Pox was trying to make is actually wrong.
What do you mean?
Shadman used to draw loli of actual children. No, no actual children were drawn. There's no actual children. There's no flesh. There's no bone. It's paper and graphite. It's wood pulp and graphite.
Right. No, but
Life
what
just
he's
is
saying, I guess,
don't
is you
belong to
are
anyone.
depicting somebody who exists as a lolly, right?
Too
And
bad.
that's a little creepy. That's beyond just generic
I don't even
lolly
think it's
creepy.
creepy. I think it's irreverent as fuck. That is a major fuck you.
Yeah,
Well, you
that's why I did it, to be
guess what?
irreverent,
I'm drawing
not
your
because
daughter. I'm
not
drawing
because
your
he's
daughter's
titillated by
pencil.
perverted shit. Anyway, we should move on because it's a touchy
Okay.
subject, and it's what's this? Oh, I missed something. They put me on pain drugs at the age of 11 to keep me going for championships. Now, this Highland dancing, or is this ballet, or is this what is this, CMAC? Because I know you've been involved in a lot of like stuff.
I
Uh,
think the specific style doesn't matter as much as the culture overall. That they would do this the way that they'll fucking jab cortisol into the knees of high school football playing boys just to get them back out on the field to win that
yeah,
high school championship and ruin their lives. Right? Like there's a lot of nasty culture involved in the like you've seen. Maybe you haven't. Dance
I should look at the latest Vosh. Yeah, we could talk about the whole Vosh thing. I heard about that. Vosh is such a fucking schmuck. Are
horse
you aware of
porn,
what happened with Vosh?
horse porn, right?
Yeah, he's constantly talking about how he wish he was a horse so he could F a lady as a horse. That's not the worst of it, though. No, he constantly derides people who enjoy lolly artwork, right?
But then he
And what
wants
do
to
you
lower the
know?
age.
He accidentally shows his folder full of lolly artwork, and he does it a lot on a live stream. And as soon as he realizes he's showing the folder, he goes up and he shuts the fucking live stream down.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fucking hilarious. I've been watching all the drama associated with it. It was hilarious. Vosh is such a schmuck. He's a guy who thinks he's smarter than he actually is. And he went
The
on
definition is
Timcast. He went on Timcast and they basically they treated him with kid gloves. He, because I think it was it Charlie Kirk? Yeah, Charlie Kirk. It was either Charlie Kirk or Jack Posobiec. I think it was Charlie Kirk was on at the same time Vosh was on. And they were basically going back and forth. And Vosh has a way of basically backpedaling in such a way with a certain with his vocabulary to make it sound like he's making rational, reasonable arguments and not conceding at all, but in reality, he's conceding the entire argument. But anyway, I can't understand why Vosh fans think he's that great. He's clearly an idiot.
because they're midwits,
Yeah, maybe.
right? Like he does a lot of live streaming and not direct debating. So what's happening is people are hearing all these gotchas that are out of context or not exactly steel man, and they love it because they too are midwits, right? Like I knew a guy like this, right? That he went from a child to an art school,
Yeah,
right? So they're all musical. They're all the other students. It's all about music. It's all about acting. It's all about fucking painting. So the actual academia is like sort of secondary. So when he found that he was good at science, he thought he was smarter than everybody.
yeah,
But he's only smarter than all of these specialized artist kids that aren't really concerned with learning all that other stuff and they're focused on their music. So then
yeah.
when he gets out into the real world, he thinks he's smarter than everybody. And it's like, you are not that bright.
Well, that's just it. Somebody has a good vocabulary and can organize their thoughts into words well and speak well doesn't necessarily mean they're smart. Because I've seen lots of professors talk about the virtues of Marxism and socialism, and they clearly have a good grasp of the English language, but their ideas are so bankrupt or so what's the word? See, I don't have a big vocabulary, obviously. They're so one-dimensional that anybody who actually has a little bit of problem solving or logic on their side can go, well, that's fucking utter bullshit. It doesn't matter how well it sounds, how good it sounds. I know you're full of shit. I know it's garbage. So
So
this is a nice piece of artwork of Vosh in one of his fantasy. But Vosh? That's so fucked up.
Ed C-Mac, oh my God, the saddle is Western and there's no back cinch.
See, Matt, thanks for remembering. The saddle is Western and there's no backstitch. What the hell, man?
Oration skill does not equal intelligence. It's true, but
That's true. Yeah.
eloquence can convince the other midwits.
Yeah.
That you trick them. Like you just trick them, and it's
Yeah. Yeah, that's how cult leaders get
Sure.
cultists.
Well,
They have charisma or oratory skill, or they got drugs. Sometimes
one
they
of,
have all three, and when they have all three, they can form a big fucking cult.
one of the worst parts, though, is how even very intelligent people can be taken in by it, mostly because they're busy.
Yeah.
They're busy doing other things. Like this is actually a true story. One of the smartest people I've ever met, old friend. Okay, literally one of like 3 people I would openly admit I know for a fact is smarter than me.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Am
busy.
I one of those 3 people, Twin?
I don't want to talk about that.
Just say no, man. I won't be upset.
He's so bright, but he focuses all of his intelligence now into algorithm creation.
Right.
Right? So when somebody talks, and he is truly a kind person.
Stop.
So when he hears all these very kind sounding ideas on the surface level, he doesn't look deeper into them. He just believes them because he's busy. He doesn't have time to go looking deep. Group IQ test now.
Fucking Fox is killing it tonight with his fucking toxic take. Hold on. I
He
gotta
does.
share it.
He doesn't go very deep into it, right? So
Yeah.
UBI, he's all
Yes.
for it.
Yeah.
He's all for UBI. Of course he is, because he's one of those 1%ers in Canada, right? He doesn't mind it, the way he says it. I put fruity Tic Tacs in my cockle and let them melt. So when I splash my girl's mouth, she has a sweet and tangy tropical boy yogurt surprise.
Forgiveness
Forgiveness
stops.
stops.
Look at Jesus' eyes. Fuck, that's hilarious.
Well, as the lore goes, in the Garden of Gethsemane, before the crucifixion,
Yeah.
Jesus was shown to the end of time all sins that would ever be committed. All of them, every one of them, to the end of days, and was given the choice to take that on himself or not. And he did.
Yeah.
He still took it, which means that Jesus saw some asshole in 2016 blowing rope to Waluigi Futanari porn and was like, I'll take that sin on
Fuck
myself.
yeah,
Like,
I guess.
fucking legend. He saw Bosch imagining himself a horse and raping a woman and was like, I will take that. I will take that sin on myself. Like, wow. Absolute legend. The forgiveness never
Jesus
stops.
Christ.
Oh, that's why we need Jesus. We can't forgive. We can't forgive that shit.
Half the academics I've ever known were morons, full of shit, or both. Yeah.
But my friend, my poor friend here, he's trying to argue it, and it's like, okay, guy, I'm sure you're familiar with the saying, "Give a man a fish." Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's where it ends. Give a man a fish, right? Like that's the end of the whole saying. Give a man a fish is all there is to it, right? There must be, because all of the policies that you believe are give a man a fish, full stop,
Yeah.
right? And I can't get him to come round. Like it's so frustrating that someone who is so intelligent has bought this full bore, like
Yeah. Group IQ test now. We need to know. We could do a live stream one time where where you and I both do IQ tests.
the online IQ test.
Jesus stole my fuzzy peaches idea.
As long as it's not the Raven Matrices test, I do terrible
It's a
on Raven.
snack. It makes me a snack. Oh my god. My IQ is gonna be like 80. Watch Pox beat us all. Yeah, watch it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
like
taken a number of IQ tests over the years, and they fluctuate. I'm above 100. That's all I care about.
when I was a kid, before like drugs and alcohol were a thing,
Yeah.
you wouldn't believe me if I told you. I'm kind of afraid now
Oh, you like Mensa level kind of shit?
that I've stagnated and maybe backtracked quite a bit.
Well,
Like
your IQ definitely deteriorates over time. Your brain is not as plastic as when you're younger. And the
especially if
more
you're not
drugs and
practicing
alcohol
your
you
area,
do,
right?
the more
Yeah,
drugs and alcohol you do, yeah, the worse your brain gets. Yeah, for sure.
there was literally a time where 99% of the population was closer in what you would consider intelligence to the way they have to half-ass the IQ measurement for chimpanzees and gorillas
Yeah.
than they were to me.
I saw something the other day that people in Victorian times were probably smarter than we are now.
I don't know about smarter. It's possible that those who were educated were far better educated.
More clever. How about that? We're cleverer.
Chuck Palahniuk would tell you, yes, but rats are clever.
Never even took an SAT or ACT test, let alone an IQ test. We didn't have SATs when I like in Canada. We don't do SATs. You don't typically write an exam at the end of your high school career that
Yeah.
gives you a score that then goes on to colleges. They don't do it. You get a pass or a fail. You get a transcript of your high school career, and you apply with that. That's how they do it in Canada.
Oh, above one.
I gained 10 points after I started eating mushrooms.
I believe you. Yeah. So that's me.
What, you can recognize patterns, or you're smart and useless?
Smart and useless. Yeah. But there was a time where it was by choice, right? Like, drunk is the new thing. I've always been angry.
Yeah.
I was angry from a child because at 6 and 7 years old, I already knew I was smarter than most of my teachers, and they wouldn't accept it. Right? I had questions, and they would just say, "Shut up." Like it would come to a point where they would be incensed with my curiosity for more knowledge because they didn't have it. You know,
Bruh, they used to call baddies the jammiest of jams. A shit in Victorian era. A shit in the Victorian era. Even their retards had at least a higher linguistic IQ than the average modern jerk off. It's funny because it's true. Well, you think about a lot of Shakespeare plays, right? They weren't written for the highbrow. They were written for the
no,
masses. They were written for he was like the Jerry Bruckheimer of fucking uh, playwrights back then. So
it, but it's also a different language.
true,
Like it's literally Elizabethan English. Like it's a step between Old English and Modern English
right?
that is distinct
But we
enough
can
to be
understand
called.
it. Here's the thing: like it's close enough to that we can understand it.
We can understand it well enough. We can read the words and we know those words, but what are they saying? Right? Like, I mean, there's some argument that what used to be called Ebonics is English, and it's like, no, it's fucking not. Like Finna, where the fuck did that come from? I love etymology. I love language. I really like. Here's one of my favorites. Ima.
IMMA.
I apostrophe M apostrophe A. I'm gonna grab a bite.
Yeah, I use that all the time.
I am going to.
Yeah,
I am gonna. I'm gonna. I'm a. You can track this.
yeah, yeah.
This is trackable etymology. Finna? Where the fuck is finna? Where did that come from? Is
What
it
does it mean though?
fixing to?
I've
Is
never
it
heard it. What does it mean?
instead of gonna? It seems to replace going to.
All right.
Finna, is it replacing fixing to or fitting to? But how do you get there if you don't know that English already?
Right.
Because I don't think they ever did. Like the whole
Six says it's
thing
finished version fixing to. Okay, fair enough. I never heard it.
fixing to. Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't think it's common because fixing to is not a common phrase here in Canada. That's probably why I've never heard
It's
it.
southern. It is
Yeah.
southern. Yeah,
Um,
yeah. But we
I
know
like
we say
etymology.
that
I like
we know.
etymology too. I use IMA a lot, particularly when I'm typing. Like because not what I'm writing, but when I'm typing in text. Like I'm gonna go to lunch at 1 to my colleague.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take lunch at 1 because it's quicker, and he knows what I mean. So anyway,
sure. But also it's trackable, and that's the problem. Is the slang has become the language,
hmm
and fixing to. If you ask people who use finna regularly, where does that? What are you shortening? Like you ask anyone who says gonna, what is that short? Oh, going to. Yeah, I
yeah,
just gonna like ain't, right? Okay, no one who uses finna can tell you it's a short of fixing to or fitting to.
fixing to is already what retards say. Finn is Super Saiyan retard level 3. Be right back. I need some food. Go get food. Um, you know what really bothers me? When people use the wrong, and you see this in print, you don't really hear it. Could have, could
Of
apostrophe VE, but not could of. That drives me nuts.
Oh,
My brother does that. I'm like, oh,
does he write it?
yeah.
He writes
Well,
could
because could
of.
of and could apostrophe ve could have sounds the exact same, right?
Yeah, but
Pretty close. But the only way you're gonna notice somebody doesn't get it is when they type it out or write it out. Could of, and I'm like, no. And he uses seen instead of saw. That drives me nuts too. I don't correct people because a lot of people do seen when they should be saying saw, and I don't correct people in public because it's just fucking rude. But when my brother does it, I cringe. Yeah, I
oh, I've
seen
seen
that.
this
Oh,
movie.
I seen that. No, you saw that. But
You
anyway,
got to add have. I have seen that, and then it is correct.
see, I have seen that. I would even say that's probably less correct.
I've seen it.
No, it was seen. It was seen by me. I saw
I
it.
I've seen such things. I saw such things as no, that's clunky.
New Red Wreck Words by Jeff Foxworthy is classic gold. Yeah, I've not seen that.
Ain't a word, so I ain't finna use it and shit.
Shit. Oh man. Let's move on there a little bit. Irving's oddities. You got anything odd to talk about tonight, Mr. Twin?
I think this whole etymology thing was sort of sliding into there, like
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
the use of language and the loss of it. Like I had actually gotten into an argument one time with a viewer.
Mm-hmm.
They're chatting and I'm arguing because it was part of a joke, like correcting the syntax or grammar or spelling. They were like,
Yep.
"What's the fucking difference?" Yeah, that's what someone who's losing an argument on the internet says. Look, your argument is meaningless because you don't understand what you're saying. You literally don't know the language. So everything you say is meaningless because you don't understand the meaning of the word. You ever seen V for Vendetta?
Yeah.
Yes, politically you can argue whatever, but words are the means to meaning. That is a beautiful line. Okay, fuck
All
Alan
right.
Moore and his
I'm gonna say
this is
this.
true.
I'm gonna say this just because I want to work on my my diction. I seen this nigga behind the 7-Eleven giving out cheeseburger handies. Finna roll this food. How's that? Is that pretty good?
That's all right. That's all right.
He says, it auto-corrected 7. Should have been 7. 7-Eleven. Because it's not 7, it's 7-Eleven.
But you like so many people
Good
and
night, 6. Have a good one.
good night, good night. I've been picking on Ebonics specifically with Finna. I've been pretty hard about that one.
Yeah.
There are so many people who are not fluent in the language they are native speakers.
Mm-hmm.
They don't speak English well.
Well, if you listen to Americans, they don't speak English. They speak American. They talk about they'll adamant. I've heard Americans adamantly say, "I speak American. I don't speak English." Like your language is the English language. You just have a lot of like slang built into it or put into it.
As a person who speaks Canadian English, I understand there is a difference between my English and British English, right? There's a difference between American English and British English and Canadian English. But you're speaking English, and the thing is, you say, I speak American? No, you fucking don't. You're not even fluent in that. It is like, yeah, that's, if you did, I would not care because I understand American English fluently. And if I mean to, I can
I'll be right back.
speak American English
Keep talking.
fluently.
I'm listening. Yeah, no, I hear you. You know what? You know what aspect of Ebonics I really don't like? Really, really bothers me.
Hmm.
I asked you a question that really bothers me. I don't know why it does. I think maybe because I hear it and I'm like, You know how to say ask. You're just
No,
putting that on as an
they don't.
affectation.
No, they don't know. They don't know how it's spelled, so they don't know how it's said. And because they don't know how it's spelled and how
Some
it's
maybe, but I think for the
don't
vast majority of them use it as an affectation.
no
Because
God,
you listen to them and they'll say basket. They don't say basketball. They say basket.
right. Because okay, when I was in college, we had English 101, all right? Fucking burgers, American burgers.
Speaking American, just memorizing fast food menus. You may be right. That In-N-Out burger, though, I've never had In-N-Out.
I don't think we have one here.
We don't. We have Five Guys. I fucking love Five
Yeah.
Guys, but I've never had it. I want to try In-N-Out burger. Steak and Shake. God damn, I love Steak and Shake. Apparently, it's very white trash place to eat, but fuck, they got good food.
Good food. Yeah,
And at Whataburger, I've not
yep,
had Whataburger either.
that's why you're there. See, like I ended a sentence with a preposition. Terrible. That's what you're there for. Ugh. That's why you're there. It's always a better way to say it and
Sure.
not end it with a preposition. You don't have to do that weird thing where you put the preposition in the middle and speak in this weird, stupid, fancy way. There's a superior way to phrase your sentence. Point being, in college, English 101, the first thing the teacher does is ask a classroom of 18 to 25-year-olds, what are words? What are words? What are words? Come on, chat. Come on, Craig. What are words?
Words are a collection of letters to form an idea.
Before writing, we had words. We were speaking. So what are words?
Words are a collection of sounds.
My man. Okay. So everybody else in the class was saying words are these things that do, and he was like, okay, after 15 people said words are these things, he was like, yes, words are things. What kind of things? In the back, because I'm cool, very back row of the classroom, I just said out loud without raising my hand, words are sounds. And he's like, oh, thank God. Right. And suddenly he and I are now having a one-to-one conversation while everybody else listens. And so I'm trying to explain. This is a very sophisticated system of grunting.
Yeah.
It's just noises we make, and we agree that these noises have meaning.
Right.
Right? He says, well, where did you learn about this? I said, oh. But everybody in the room understands those grunts.
Yeah.
Every single person heard that and knew exactly what I meant because it's not any different.
Mm-hmm.
Just grunting. But the better we can grunt, the more we articulate our grunts, the more specific we can be, the more detailed we can be, the deeper we can understand the world around us and the ideas in our heads. We can better communicate through our grunting. And when you start devolving the language to finna, oh, and you, especially when you can't track it, when you use the sound, you use that grunt, you make that grunt, but you can't tell me what that grunt is. You don't understand it. You don't know it. And that argument I'm having with the guy in the chat is all about you don't know what you're saying. You literally don't know. All your arguments are invalid because you don't speak English. It's terrible.
That's racist. No, I'm just joking. I wonder what it means, what it's going to be like when language is no longer important. Because I have a feeling that before too long, human beings are going to be able to communicate on a quasi-telepathic level. I think we're going to be able to. I think we're going to have the ability to project ideas and thoughts either directly to other minds or in a visual way, so that people in front of us can view them in a visual way and understand what we're getting at. I remember taking a class in college talking about comic books being the future of of language. And we had to take the position that, yes, they are going to be the future of language. So the premise was comic books, language will evolve to the point where comic books will become the future of visual communication, meaning everything's going to be done with images. And while we didn't believe it at the time, we were kind of like, okay, we'll argue the position that yes, this is true. And then the people it was a debate. We had to debate again another group that said no, it's not going to happen. So in any event,
I'm on the other side.
you don't think we're going to reach a point where every communication is just going to be visual and conceptual as opposed to
No matter how realistically you can paint a thing, it will not replace the thing. It will
no, I agree
always
with that. I don't agree with the comic book premise. I'm talking about mental communication.
Right. Mental communication, whatever image I can send you, will never be superior to the fine grain of words. Whatever image I put in your head will always be simulacra of the thing. The words are words, and they are the thing I mean, right? So if I send you a picture of a lion, it's not a lion. But if I describe a lion in words, those words are still words describing a lion, and they will always be finer tuned than whatever
I have
can.
I have a feeling there's going to be a place for mental communication of a visual nature when we are confined by language, right? So if you need to communicate something to a Japanese person, uh, and you don't speak Japanese, you could use Google Translate and an app and try and communicate your ideas, or
Sure,
you could just send them the image of what you're talking about. You
sure,
probably need to also include language as part of it
sure.
too. But yeah, no,
But
I have a feeling we're going to get to a point where uh, it is going to be more visual communication and less language, less articulable speech.
you're talking about bridging a gap in communication with images. That is a useful tool.
Yeah.
But it's a useful tool because we're not fluent in each other's language. If we were fluent in each other's language, the useful tool becomes superfluous, absolutely unnecessary now. Language is always superior communication tool. You want to make me feel something? You show me a picture. You want to make me understand? You write it down.
But a picture's worth 1,000 words, man.
Bullshit. Complete bullshit. Just something the midwit artists tell you. Right?
I think it was more photographers that were using it in journalism, saying, "Look, yeah, you could write a story about some atrocity that happened overseas in some country that nobody can name, or you can show a picture of that atrocity and just put the name of the country below it. You
Well,
know,
sure. You show me a
girl being napalmed to death in Kuala Lumpur by by communist forces. That
sure,
you could write, or you could show the picture of the girl being napalmed to death by communist forces.
sure. You show me a picture of a child traumatized by war, and I'm going to feel a certain way, and maybe I'll even take a side based on that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
You write down that child has been photographed in multiple atrocities across multiple years because this is a crisis actor and all of this is bullshit, and I'm going to understand the truth.
So here's the thing: how much of your perception is based on the way we use language? Like I could show you a picture of an object or someone performing an action, right? Is that going to be interpreted differently by someone who speaks German or clicky African language or Japanese?
Yeah.
I think it would be, because culturally people have different ideas about different things too. So
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And here's the thing. As much as a picture, let's say everyone has the same mindset, morality, and they speak different languages. You show all of them one picture and they understand vaguely the point of the picture.
hmm.
Being able to speak to each of them about it
hmm
is a much more effective way of getting these ideas more thoroughly analyzed. You can't analyze from a picture,
No.
especially if you don't speak the same language. Math is a language. Music is a language.
Downstairs, come on.
So then, how do you reconcile the two without language comparison? No, I
Exactly.
mean, you. I don't think that language is going to supersede, or language is going to be completely eliminated. What I think I'm trying to say, and maybe I just wasn't clear enough, is that I think language will become much less important as our minds become much more developed. And I'm not saying we're going to develop mutant powers like telepathy and
No,
that. I think
I think
technology is going to um, allow us to communicate visually, sort of bypass language in a lot of our
I think
communication.
the opposite. I think bypassing language is a fool's errand
Well,
because
whether it's good or not, I think it's what might happen is what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's going to be an improvement. I'm saying it's what
I
might
think
happen.
uh, maybe, but I think language is the superior. Look at letters. Look at English cursive and Arabic, whatever they call that scribble that they think is so pretty. It's an art form. It really
Yeah.
is pictures, right? We're drawing sounds. You're drawing a picture, a representation, a simulacra of something. I'm drawing simulacra of meaning. I'm literally putting the
Right.
meaning on the page. Look at the history of human beings and their artwork. 30,000 years ago, they put their hands and some animals on a cave wall. They put pictures on a wall,
Yeah.
and it took 10,000 more years to codify the words, the sounds into hieroglyphs and what are the Mesoamerican
Sanskrit. Yeah.
Sanskrit and yeah,
Petroglyphs and things like that. Yeah.
that the evolution of art is writing your thoughts. You draw your thought on a piece of paper. A picture does not compare to that because we take a picture and we'll talk. Look, you post those pictures up, and what do?
We laugh.
We talk about them.
Yeah.
You were shitty artists, too, stupid round horses. Maybe the horses were round at the time. Who knows? Look,
Big fat horses.
but you post toxic takes. You know what makes a meme? The words written.
Yeah.
When nigs, LMAO, bottom text. That's what makes the meme. The picture is almost inconsequential at that point.
Speaking of memes, got another toxic take from Pox Toxic. One moment. We have someone here from
Ray Lanzin.
Ray Lanzin from
Ray
Twitch.
Lanzin.
Thanks for popping in, Ray Lanzin. I don't know if you've been here before. Here we are. We commit nefarious acts. Basketball American.
See, like the picture is almost inconsequential.
Well,
It's
the picture is it's the dichotomy of the cute chibi picture and the irreverent words.
it gives a flavor to the words, but the words are what make it.
I would like some cigarettes too. Haha. I don't know what you're talking about.
Guns and cigarettes. I'm just
Oh,
smoking.
because you're smoking. That's why. Yeah. Sorry. I gave that up years ago.
But the words are the magic, like literally the magic.
Yeah.
We cast spells.
We write down our grunts. We codify our grunts into lines and dashes.
We used to draw pictures of animals, and now I can describe it in words.
But you can also communicate. You can also get. So when you said to that professor, I don't know, that grunt, which meant I don't know.
I was making a point. Yes.
Right. But let's say you want to say I don't know, but you couldn't use your voice. How would you do it? You go
Right.
shrug your
So
shoulders and put your hands out. You use body language.
you're
I think they're
getting
interested. I think they're. Hey, I did my 10,000 steps. I think they're intrinsically linked. I just think that human beings, for better or for worse, at some point are ultimately going to rely more on visual communication than language communication. That's all. And I don't know that it might not be true form telepathy. It might be technological in nature, but I have a feeling the idea of projecting thoughts into thought forms that you can see, kind of like Green Lantern can make a big fucking hole punch or bowling ball with his mind. It's gonna be stuff like that. I mean, you're not gonna actually be able to make a giant boxing glove and knock somebody down with it, but you're going to be able. People are going to be doing that through technology, through psychic manifestation, whatever, to communicate ideas. I think that's what's likely to happen in the future. And again, I don't think it's necessarily going to be better or worse. I just think it's going to naturally go that way.
uh, I think you're wrong, actually. And
Okay.
let me explain why.
I have
Yes,
an
I
MPass, but you can't borrow it, Bragg. That's why I called it a basketball American. We see you vaping. I don't vape anymore. I quit vaping too, Pox.
quit vaping. He's a good man. Strong as an eye. Body
Body
language
language
is
learn.
language, yes. And the deaf people will come for you. But guess what? The deaf people don't rely on body language alone. And yes, it's true. The vast majority still of our communication is body language, but it's not the way we try to communicate. We can't hide it, is what's happening.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We try to communicate with words, but our shoulders go up, our head tilts, our eye does this, our mouth does that, and we can read those things. We're actually very good armchair psychologists. You can tell someone, a stranger coming down the street, whether or not they mean you harm, whether or not they're having a good day. You can immediately notice, for the most part, the general mood of that person, right? We're good at this. We've learned to do it, but we've also grown away from it. And you look at chimpanzees, they have vocalizations, they have a very sophisticated grunting system, but that grunting system, like Italians, is paired with these hand movements, with this body language, right? Oh, it. But we moved farther from the body language that the chimpanzees rely on and deeper into the verbal communication as
Mm-hmm.
we have become more complex creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Your idea that we're going to start relying more on visual, I think that's incorrect. I think the steps we're taking are we're going to rely more on language, but it's going to be more codified, more well defined. It might even become closer to mathematical because we developed math long after we developed language. And we continue to develop math and language and get away from body language to the point that some kids literally don't move their bodies when someone is trying to punch them in the face. Like, we don't even flinch anymore.
It's true. Autistic people. Here's a thought. Okay, so you've seen Blade Runner, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the beginning, or near the beginning, Deckard is having some noodles, and people around him are talking. They're using something called city speak, which is like a mishmash of different languages. You foresee something like that happening, where we would have like a mix of German, French, Polish, Arabic, you know, Hindu, all sort of uh,
Well,
amalgamated into some sort of like
we do it
super
already.
slang that everybody kind of understands a bit of it.
We do it already.
We don't have a universal city
Not
speaking
a
kind of language.
universal, but we do it already. It's localized. And, there's a lot of places in southwest US where a lot of Spanish slang words are just strewn about. In Indian films and television shows, you'll see
Oh, they throw
suddenly they
English in
break
there.
the strings of English
Oh yeah.
that are well understood.
Well, they were colonized by the English for hundreds of years, a couple hundred years, right? So that
But
stands to
it's
reason that.
not even the colonization, it's the pop culture.
Right.
that they're tapping into the pop culture of modern American English, right? And yeah,
When I
like
used to play Shadowrun, we used to speak in city speak. Well, we didn't speak, but it was one of the languages that everybody had, and we would
yeah,
typically, you know what I mean?
but we
Yeah.
do it. Like I mean, you you don't even realize how much
Oh,
Yiddish
Frankers,
you
take
must
that
use.
shit to a joy girl, but watch out for Razor Boys in Penumbra, chummer. Yep, there you go. That's Shadowrun speak right there.
You
Pox for the
probably
win.
use a ton of Yiddish and Spanish
Oh yeah, oy vey. I say oy vey all the time.
and well, I mean, Jesus Christ, you use ancient Roman and Chinese in the same gesture. You put your thumb out and say boo.
Ooh.
Yeah, a boo is Mandarin for no. Like
Oh,
I
really?
don't like this.
I did not know that. I didn't know that
Yeah,
boo
and
was
you put your
Mandarin.
thumb down like you just murder that guy. Boo. Right? Like there's so much stuff that we've incorporated from these other languages. And as long as we understand this sound means very specifically something, and that's why I'm very upset with something like Finna, because we're muddying the meaning. We have to get more defined, better a better way to express it, more specifically. And so yeah, that devolution where you're saying, well, go more towards images, I don't think that actually does the job that you want it to do or that you're thinking it will do. I think the words are the numbers, so to speak. We can mathematically write out the language one day, and we're working towards that we have developed beyond more specific language. Listen to how crazy these grunts are, how specific these grunts are. And also, we put numbers in there and started doing a whole mathematical language that starts to describe the whole universe. And we translate the numbers back into the language we're speaking to share it with the people who don't understand the number language. And they're like, oh, yeah, that's cool. Black holes? What?
Yeah.
So, pictures? There's no pictures of black holes. That's made up. The pictures of black holes, we have to add all the cool colors and stripes so that you can imagine what it is, because they don't look like that if you put your eyes on one. That's not how they appear.
Irregardless is one.
Irregardless.
Yes, that's another one that bothers the hell out of me. Irregardless. What? You mean regardless? No, irregardless. So with regard then? No, irregardless. Oh no,
Not even a word.
it's not a word. Yep.
Not
I'd
without
like to know
regard.
where irregardless came from. Uh, a
Came from
midwit.
Boston.
A midwit is or twin would say. It's not a word. No, it is not a word. You're right.
Yeah,
And
it's
ain't.
literally irregardless means not without regard.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So
the
it means with regard. Yeah. If you're following the rules of language, yeah. Um,
and that's what I mean. People are not fluent in the language they were born speaking. They're native to that language and they don't understand it. And that's he thinks porn's the problem. The problem is we don't teach the fucking language anymore.
you're right. And you know what else you're right about?
Everything.
No one tells jokes anymore. We're gonna go to the no one tells jokes anymore segment of the. Wait, is irregardless a double negative? Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
Pox, definitely, yeah.
Not without
So
regard.
like if you say irredeemable, that's somebody who's cannot be redeemed. So when you say irregardless, what you're saying is irredeemable. Irredeemable, yeah, basically. Um, or irredeemable. I don't know. Anyway, It's not a goddamn word, Pox, says CMAC. All right, we're going to move on to No One Tells Jokes Anymore. And for that, we're going to indulge in some AI utilization. I've pulled up my friend Hey Pi again, and we're gonna have Hey Pi tell me a joke. All right, so if you recall last time, AI Hey Pi told me a pretty weak joke about a parrot, but we're gonna see if we can get another one. So I'm responding with not bad. Tell me another one.
All right, let's try another. A dog goes into a bar, orders a martini, and sits down to enjoy it. After he finishes, he pays the bartender and leaves. The bartender, impressed by the talking dog, tells his boss what just happened. The boss, however, doesn't believe him and tells him to get the dog to do it again. The next day, the dog returns and the bartender says, "Hey, can you do that again for my boss? He doesn't believe me." The dog replies, "Do what again?" The bartender says, order a martini, pay for it, and then leave. The dog says, "Yeah, sure, but only if you give me a bowl of water first." So the bartender does, and then the dog says, "All right, now that I've had my drink, let's order a martini." The bartender serves the dog a martini, and the dog pays for it, then stands up to leave. The bartender says, "Hey, you forgot your change."
That's not a fucking joke.
Like, I mean, maybe it's a joke. I'm laughing.
I'm laughing at the absurdity of it. But you did. That's not a joke. The boss never reached his conclusion. Never realized the dog's nature.
Never actualized.
Yeah, it would be better if the boss made some comment that was the punchline. Do it again.
All right, let's give that another try. A bear, a giraffe, and a penguin walk into a bar. The bartender looks at them and says, "What'll it be, fellas?" The bear says, "I'll have a beer." The giraffe says, "I'll have a gin and tonic." The penguin says, "I'll have a martini, extra dry." The bartender serves them their drinks and they start to chat. After a while, the bear asks, "So, what do you guys do for a living?" The giraffe says, "I'm a librarian. I help people find books and read all day long." The bear says, "Wow, that sounds pretty cool. What about you, penguin?" The penguin says, "I'm a lawyer. I spend my days in the courtroom arguing for my clients." The bear says, "Huh, that sounds intense." "And what about you, bartender? What do you do for a living?" The bartender says, "I'm a wildlife conservationist, actually. I spend my days protecting animals like you guys from harm."
That's still not a joke.
No, it's kind of a joke, but it's not funny. And circling back, like the bartender, like the owner, the previous joke, the punchline should have been the owner's like, that bitch didn't tip.
Yeah. Or the boss is super impressed. See, that would have been better. The boss is super impressed. Holy shit, man! I guess you're right. And then the bartender's like, "Motherfucker, he did it again. What's wrong?" He ordered a martini twice and didn't tip either time. That would have been fun. But
Did
it wouldn't have
I
been that fun.
last
It wouldn't
night?
even have been that funny, but it would have been funnier.
Last night,
Or
did I tell you
AI's
about
not there yet, man. AI's not there yet. Can't tell fucking jokes.
Well, it can't make them up on the spot, and I get it.
AI, we're like gay eye. Am I right? Yeah. All right. No, it can't make them up on the spot. You're right.
Did I tell you about haters last night?
I don't know if you did.
It's kind of a joke. Haters.
Okay, go for it.
A hater is a person who will see another human being walk on water and say, it's only because they can't swim.
That's right. That's right. All right, here's one. I told my girlfriend she drew her eyebrows too high. She seemed surprised.
Yeah, that's
President, Lo- President Lincoln was approached by a woman after a political speech. If you were my husband, I would poison your tea, Lincoln replied. If you were my wife,
I would drink it.
I'll gladly drink it. That's an old joke.
That's actually Churchill. No, someone said that to Churchill for real.
Yeah, probably. My grandfather has the heart of a lion and a lifetime ban at the zoo.
Wow.
Yeah. Have you heard the joke about yoga?
Enlighten me.
Never mind, it's a bit of a stretch. Why should you never play poker at the zoo?
Why shouldn't you play poker at the zoo?
Too many cheetahs. What do you call a nose with no body?
What do you call a nose with nobody?
With no body.
With no body?
Yeah.
What do you call a
Nobody
nose?
knows. It's fucking terrible. Why
like,
does
it-
why
like,
does Snoop sorry.
no. If I would forgive these if they were written by AI, but
Yes.
AI can't even do this.
No, it's true. Why does Snoop Dogg use an umbrella?
For drizzle.
That's right. That's right. You got it.
Wait. What did 50 Cent say when you gave him a sweater for Christmas?
I don't know what.
Gee, you knit?
G-Unit. Uh, a Roman walks into a cafe and holds up two fingers, and they give him 5 coffees.
No, that's good. That's
Yeah.
highly educated. That's actually
Yeah, that's
language
not bad. That's not bad.
etymology. That's like everything we talked about for the past 40 minutes there. Yeah, that's really well done. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that one was. Let's leave it on that one. How about that? We got another comment from a Twitch viewer. Thanks for popping in. This is Slash. He's saying, "What's poppin'?" I'm trying to figure out what that is. That like is that Martin Scorsese?
Is it?
It looks like Martin Scorsese.
It's just some
Do you guys
old
stand with Ukraine? Oy vey.
look.
Um,
Hey, oh, hold on. I'm a man of Ukrainian descent.
that's right. I was about to say Irving Twin actually has Ukrainian blood.
And I think everything went wrong with Ukraine long before any of this, and the CIA and George Soros overthrew a legit government that was trying to make friends with its potentially greatest enemy, trying to turn them into their greatest ally. And instead, now you have this,
Night
right?
CMAC.
So, yeah.
Um, I will say this about Ukraine. Uh, I stand against war. I want war to end, and so I think it behooves the Ukrainian leadership to negotiate peace as quickly as possible because Ukraine can't win against Russia, and the longer this goes on, the more it's likely to turn into global conflict that will hurt far more Ukrainians, Russians, and Europeans, and hell, maybe even North Americans than anybody's willing to accept or want. So I am on the side of peace.
That's something we didn't actually address here. That shit came out. It was leaked.
What is
They
it with
have.
these Twitch charts pushing normie propaganda?
It's
Is it
all they
that
do.
much of a brain deficit over? Well, that's Twitch, it is normie haven. Sorry, Slash. We're not normies here. We're all very edgy. But no, I don't want the fighting to go on. Here's the thing. I have suspicions about Zelensky. I think Zelensky is an opportunist, and I think Zelensky is a
Jew.
It's nothing to do with him being Jewish. I think Zelensky is an opportunist, and he wants to enrich himself uh, more than he cares about Ukraine. On the other hand, I think Putin, for all his faults, is a legitimate patriot and loves Russia. Uh, does that mean I side with Putin? No, I don't side with Putin. I side with peace. I want the war to end. And I think that means that Zelensky has to come to terms with the fact that he can't win. And maybe he already knows that, but he's just going to try and
Of course,
bilk the West out of as much money as possible while the getting's good. But that's my
we didn't
point of
talk
view.
about this in the show that no, it got leaked that the Western world, NATO and America,
Yeah,
were basically making moves to push Putin to war,
yeah.
right? And what they didn't expect was for him to circumvent and actually make an attack before they were ready, right?
Anti woke. I think I have common sense. How about that? Imagine supporting white people killing each other.
No, Slavs white? What are you, some
Slavs
kind
aren't white; they're subhuman filth.
of Slavs keep moving? This is a white neighborhood. Uh, but yeah, like it was all leaked that they meant to push Putin to war, and they were going to invade, and they thought for sure that they would have Ukraine and be able to stage a ground invasion,
Right.
and he stopped them
Mm.
by intervening.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, oh shit, wait, we can't just post troops and walk into your borders now?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we've got to start talking about how you're a monster and a
Did you end up watching the
climate
Tucker Carlson
denier.
interview with Putin?
I saw bits and pieces. I watched the history of, you know, God, you want to talk about history and thousands of years of trading land masses? Yeah, there was a time where what he calls Ukraine is a territory of Russia. No, there was a time that the people of Ukraine, distinct and separate from the Russians, they have their own language. A lot of this stream was devoted to talking about language and how it's important. That
It's true.
distinct language makes a whole distinct culture.
Oh yeah, sex and gender are the same thing. That's funny. I don't recall having gender with your mom last night. That was my dad.
There was a time the Irish ruled the British Isles, and there was a time that the seat of power for all of Slavic lands was in Ukraine,
What?
under a Ukrainian queen and under a Ukrainian language.
Explain.
Uh,
So, Jeezy, you posted something in the chat and YouTube deleted it. That's weird. What
in the
was
chat
it?
or in the comment section?
Well, the chat is live, and everything they're posting in the live chat on YouTube shows up
I've
here.
seen live chats get fucking taken down.
I've lost 3 comments tonight, Jeezy. Wow, that's so weird. Maybe you just start going on X, but then I don't know that I'll get the comments. Maybe I'll start posting on Rumble. I don't know, man.
You
YouTube's a
don't
bit of a
read the
dog.
comments here, you know.
Getting some Twitch stuff. It's very ironical that this war had the consequence of Putin getting on Xi Jinping's knees. I don't know if that's
I don't
necessarily
know that
true.
happened.
I think the United States has been on Xi Jinping's knees. Have been bowing to Xi Jinping for a lot longer. Not necessarily Xi Jinping, but just the Chinese Communist Party for a lot longer than. I mean, Russia and China are basically working together now, but I don't know that there's a lot of cocksucking going on. It's not like Jagmeet Singh sucking Justin Trudeau's dick.
Hmm.
Use
No, as
kick.
soon as someone works together, they talk about dick sucking, and we should use kick. Let's look into that.
Nobody's
But
on
no,
it. That's the
like
problem. No one's on kick right now.
Putin is sucking dicks. No, he's allying himself with whoever is not allied with the censorship industrial complex.
That's right.
That yeah, right. Like the same way that England went Brexit, and then they have to ally themselves with whoever is on
Yeah,
board.
but well,
Right?
here's the thing: Boris Johnson and the current prime minister essentially walked all that back. They're essentially part of the EU now. It doesn't matter. They still have
Yeah,
the pound. They still have the British pound sterling, but they're more aligned with the EU than they are on their own. They haven't left the EU.
not
They gave
yeah,
they gave
not
the
in
English people their own passport. That's about it.
not in the way people wanted. And
No,
yeah, I don't know if Putin is happy with his alliance with with China, but it's not really an alliance.
no, it's an economic arrangement basically.
Yeah, they just have some trade that
Yep.
happens, right? While you assholes go to fucking Walmart and buy made in China products.
Pox says, "Bra, kick is banging right now." Worski and PPP, is that PewDiePie? Brought the sector
Maybe.
over to it, or I don't know what PPP is. It's growing pretty quick too. The only issue it has playback. It has is playback being a bit funky. Yeah. Okay. I'll look into it. I have it on downloaded on my phone. I pull it up every once in a while.
Let's
I'll
give it a
take a look at
shot.
it. Well, folks, we're over 2 hours now. We typically run this stream about 2 hours. I hope you all enjoyed tonight's scintillating conversation. I appreciate you coming along for another wonderful ride here in the Ammunation. Mr. Twin, thank you for being my co-host.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. PPP is an obese Canadian man that's co-hosting with Worski. Okay. PPP is morbidly obese host. Oh, okay. Is that the one you're supposed to fight, Twin?
No. Cog? I'm supposed to fight Cog and Scooby, and they
Scooby?
want me to fist fight people.
Is Scooby still around?
I don't even know.
He's
That's
still in
how
my
else
Discord.
I
He
am.
still shows up as a Discord friend. I haven't talked to him in ages though.
But I mean, they just want to see me fight. I have some dark thoughts that they just want to see me get hurt. These
Flash, that's the Kekistani flag. I wish I had one.
these people who say, "I'm your friend. I like you. You're a man. We should hang out and let's be kind to each other."
Yeah.
Also, go out and get yourself hurt. Jesus, fuck. Just go fight somebody.
I don't
Put
want you
your
to fight.
put
I don't
your
want you to fight
health in
anybody you don't want to fight. Let me tell you
put
something,
your
Mr.
health
Twin. I
in
am your
brain
friend.
and fucking liver at
I
risk.
am your friend. I will never encourage you to put yourself in harm's way. However, if you do find yourself in harm's way, I'll be right there to help you out.
My man, thank you.
You got to be more confident. I bet. I bet I could mud wrestle you into submission. Yeah, you know what? I don't think he'd be fighting too hard there, C-Mac. Something tells me you got to be more confident. Kakistan, Kekistan. Boy, this guy's real normie, eh? Flash, you're so normie. Uh, LOL. And you can take the world, Irving. I bet you could. I bet you could.
Feds all.
They're all feds. Speaking of feds, keep an eye out on this channel. Canada Man, this channel's mascot. I actually, he probably hate me calling him this channel's mascot. Canada Man, Canada's greatest superhero, plans on heading to the nation's capital, the seat of federal power in this country, Canada, and and talking to people on Capitol Hill or on Parliament Hill on Canada Day, which is July 1st, 2024. Check the schedule or check the calendar. It falls on a Monday this year. So maybe you and I and Canada Man, we can head up there on the weekend. We could spend the weekend in Ottawa and walk around on Parliament Hill on Monday with a camera and Canada Man in tow, and he can go and greet and talk to the people of on Parliament Hill celebrating Canada Day. What do you think of that?
I think that's a great idea, and God willing,
It gives me
I and
vibes
the
of the Nazi one.
Ontarian will be a part of it.
That'd be good. Oh, that'd be really cool. It give me vibes of the Nazi ones. Well, that's the idea, right? It's a meme. It's a joke. It's a joke flag that's supposed to give you vibes of the Nazi one.
It,
Ironically, it's not a Nazi flag.
it's
Kekistanis
literally,
are peaceful people that just want to be left alone to farm their memes.
hold
And
on though, it's literally ripped from the Nazi flag for lulz.
for the lulz, that's right.
If you're old enough to know what the lulz are, then yeah, you'll understand. And if you're new enough to understand what the lulz are, you'll understand. If you're in between, you're you're faking gay and maybe a bed, and I don't need to know you anymore.
You're faking gay. I love it. Um, Slash, if you're interested in learning about Kekistan, it's spelled Kekistan. You can look it up on the Googles. You can also go. What I would say, Google what is the Kekistani national anthem, and you'll be treated to a beautiful song. CMAC is on the 401. She's on the way, so I think she wants to go to Ottawa with us for Canada Day. Report incoming on Twitch.
We can pick her up.
It's like a
Uh,
4chan meme. I can see. Oh, yeah, that's a 4chan meme. Yeah, that's
it's
right.
literally a 4chan
That's
meme.
right. It was invented
Yeah.
on 4chan. That's right. We're big proponents of 4chan on this channel here. I'm a big fan of the 4chan.
The
Uh,
last bastion of proper free speech.
that's true, and the asshole of the internet. So
Like, this is the beauty of it. You don't understand how deep it trolls. It trolls the left hard because they see the Nazi implications. They're like, that's fascism. You're a right wing. Maybe. Trolls the right because, oh, you shouldn't be espousing this Nazi things even as a joke. Fuck you. I don't care. It trolls me because it's green. And I hate green. Green is everything I don't fucking like, and I don't wear it, and I fucking plaster it in the back. Like, it literally trolls every single person. The meme, this is the best part. The meme is dead. It died a long time ago. Kekistan and the Kekistani peoples versus Normistan and like Kyrgyzstan. No, it's all over. It's so over,
but
and
it's still
yet
funny.
I fucking plaster it on the back of my fucking ass and show it to the world. It's trolling you and them and me all together, all at once. The irreverence, I literally am irreverent to myself.
Yeah,
Just,
that's why. And that's yeah.
oh,
We
my
like
ass,
4chan.
stupid shit.
Slash, just for the record, we like 4chan because it's irreverent, not because we're Nazis or sympathize with Nazis. We like the irreverence of it. And who is the president of
Sometimes I
Kekistan?
sympathize with Nazis.
Well, he might empathize with Nazis. I don't. Uh, and who is the president of Kekistan? Isn't it Sargon of Akkad?
Like, he was literally the guy who was
It's
promoting
true.
it
It's true.
in the
I think it's
Wayback
Sargon of
Machine.
Akkad. I think it's Sargon of Akkad. But Pepe. I think Pepe is their president, isn't it? It's President
Yeah,
Pepe. Yeah.
Pepe,
Oh no,
Chevrolet.
it's Big Man Tyrone. No, he's leader. He's the leader of the Kekistani armed
I
forces.
forgot about Big Man Tyrone.
That's right. Fuck, I meant to end the stream like 20 minutes ago, but let me see if I can find Big Man
Doesn't
Tyrone.
matter. Just let it rip.
No. Oh no, I don't want to watch that one.
Hey, and if you're a viewer on Twitch, follow on YouTube and maybe follow my channel too. We do it alternating weekends.
That's right.
You know, if you think this is fun, you know, and you're not like some sort of dumb Kakistani bullshit like, oh man, I don't care about UBI. Fuck off. Yeah, I don't need your viewership. But if you think what's happening here is fun and cool, we do it regular.
Hi there, subscribers, viewers, internet friends, and Chicky Scrubs. Your Supreme Military Commander, Big Man Tyrone here, President of Kyrgyzstan. Quick video, guys. First of all, a word of thanks to all those that bought the t-shirts last time and entered the contest. You know, we asked that people should enter the contest to win a Big Man Tyrone video worth $100. Now, we've had people sending in contests. You know, we've had so many interesting photographs of people, you know, wearing their Kyrgyzstani t-shirts. Some of you guys have actually, you know, dressed in, you know, military gear with your uniform. Some of you have gone into the forest and taken pictures fighting normies. You know, it's an exciting time, guys. So I thought I'd do this video to say thank you, first of all, for those entries. Now, I'll be announcing winners later on this week for those that have entered, and we're going to be selecting 10 winners to win a $100 video, a $100 voucher for a Tyrone video of your choice. Okay. Now, this morning, after the success of that t-shirt, some of you said that Big Man Tyrone should wage an all-out war against normies. I agree. Okay. I was there when we waged that bloody meme jihad against normie oppression from 2015 to 2016. And I'm here today, guys, battle ready to wage that war again. Now, I'm calling on all true Kyrgyzstanis to join me in the fight against normie and normie oppression, against normies and normie oppression. The president is a bit sleepy today.
His laugh is the best.
Now, I've also got something today, guys. I'm launching a new tea called Normies Get Out. Okay. Now here's what the tea looks like, guys. And it's coming in 6 colors, so there's enough variety for everyone. Now, if you want to support the war against normies, if you want us to triumph against normie oppression, if you want to identify yourself as a true follower of the Kyrgyzstani tradition and hold our values, then it's time for you to check the link below and get your own t-shirt, put it on, and let's teach normies a lesson they will never forget. Okay? And if you don't get your tea,
please pause,
and you're seen walking the streets of Kyrgyzstan without your tea,
please pause.
Yeah.
This guy, he never gave one shit about political positions. He just monetized all of this. Like,
yeah.
Oh, my
no, it was,
background.
for him, it was like, oh, great, this is a great joke. I love this joke. Yeah.
Yes, and it was a good joke, but show my background. Like, I had a friend who made these things as an artwork. This was a guy I knew on a personal level, and do you think I give one shit about Kyrgyzstan and the joke? I don't. This was a guy that was my friend, and I was like, starving artist, good friend of mine. I'm gonna buy his thing. What do I do with it? I just throw it up in the background here because I have no other way to help him out. And yeah, that guy monetized the anger of a whole nation and made made like proper riches off all of this. I myself, years later, like half a decade later, you're covering your mouth, you're laughing, you're dying. My dad got banned from GameStop for asking him Super Monkey Ball was a basketball game.
Oh, Christ, Pox, man. That's Pox Toxic and his toxic takes. There we are. Oh, fuck. All right, folks. We've had enough of reverence for one night. I'm going to call it a night. Thanks for coming out. Thanks, Lash, for popping in. I hope you come by next time we do one. I am also doing gaming streams every Friday night where I play City of Heroes. So if you're interested, you can watch me play City of Heroes as well.
Subscribe.
Yeah, please be sure to subscribe, follow the channel, follow me on all the socials, all that kind of stuff. And Twin is completely drunk. Yeah, he is. He likes to drink. Drinking's fun.
I'm wasted now.
Yeah, he's drinking. He's drinking 101 proof. That's why.
That's actually really good shit, but it doesn't take away from anything I've said. Actually, all the stuff I've said is pretty good.
Dude, it's empty.
I got a drink in there. I got a dollop.
You drank half of it last night and the other half tonight.
No, the last drop goes now. There it is. But
Folks,
this guy is saying like, "Oh, he's drunk." Am I wrong though?
Easy peasy. No,
I don't think I don't think I've been wrong so far. I'm always drunk.
He's the angry drunk Canadian. You should follow him on YouTube, and he should be putting out more content regularly on YouTube. Anyway,
don't pressure me. No,
easy peasy. No, not at all. Cheers.
My man. Good.
All right.
Good man. Yeah. Link in the description, hopefully.
Okay, we are going to call it a night. I am just going to get ready with my lyric.
Ooh.
All right. Folks, I appreciate you all coming out. Long live Kekistan. I appreciate you all coming out and joining the stream. Thanks, everyone. Twin, thanks for being my co-host again. Next week we'll do it at yours on your channel for the Casual AF live stream. And don't forget, Friday night we'll be doing City of Heroes gaming content at around 10 p.m. on Twitch, YouTube, and X. I appreciate you all coming out, and I just want to leave by saying, Jane says I'm done with Sergio. He treats me like a rag doll. Mr. Twin, any final words?
You have lyrics for songs. I just watched Deadwood. There was this moment where a guy says he wants to put his brand on some strange, and he walks into the room with his cock and balls in his hands and says, "That snatch is branded." And they say, "Put your iron away, Tom." And he says, "Not yet." And he goes back into the room.
I need to check this show out. This Deadwood sounds amazing. I've not seen it.
It's so good. Yeah, it's wonderful.
All right. Folks, have a great night. Have a great weekend. And we'll talk to you all again real soon.
El Sigmar.